Welcome to the Panic Room, where we talk about all things panic-inducing. I am the Queen of Panic. Warning, some episodes may contain content that may be disturbing to others. Viewer discretion is advised. Now let the games begin.
Something happened over the weekend that I can't fully explain, and to be honest, I haven't had a full night's rest ever since then. I tried to tell myself that this is just my brain running low on caffeine, but the more I push the doubts away, the more uneasy I feel. Something is wrong with my children. I have too many of them. I have 3 wonderful boys. James is 8 and Braxton is 6. I don't remember Dylan. I see pictures of him up on the fridge, smiling and playing catch with his dad. He goes to the same school as his older brothers. He's a great kid for the few days that I've known him. But before Saturday, I have no recollection of him being a part of the family. Saturday was strange, to say the least. There was a cold front moving in. Weather report said there would be rain mixed with hail. We had to cancel baseball practice because of the nasty change. But no one seemed really prepared for the fog. We were leaving the field when I saw it roll in. I think it came from the south. It was thick, so very much so that traffic came to a halt. My husband tried to get out and see if there was a way around it, but no one could see anything for miles. It was so very cold. Colder than you'd expect. The boys were complaining because of it, and even though we stayed in the car, I didn't feel comfortable sitting there amid the clouds. Something was wrong about it all. Everyone could feel it, but no one said anything. Braxton and James were complaining one minute about the whole situation, and then it became dead silent. Time itself seemed to stop. I remember telling them to be quiet while we tried to drive forward inch by inch. It was a little nerve-wracking being unsure what was just mere feet in front of you. My husband finally announced he could see the edge of the cloud and pushed the ignition. I told my boys that we were finally headed home, and then I saw something in the mirror. A 3rd child. I screamed. My husband slammed on the brakes.
What the hell, Joy? I thought we were going to get in a wreck!
I was staring at the 3rd child in the back seat, and everyone in my family was looking at me like I was insane. Who are you? I whispered. The question to me sounded like what any sane person would ask. I should have realized sanity left our lives the moment the fog came. The voice spoke.
Mom, it's me, Dylan. Are you okay?
I looked to my husband for answers, and he was equally worried, checking my head for signs of a bruise.
What's wrong? Are you feeling sick?
I don't know what to say, so I waited until we got home, and the 3 boys were asleep. Vincent, I know this sounds insane, but I don't recall having 3 children. When we went into that fog, I only remember Braxton and James. I whispered as we got ready for bed. My husband couldn't believe it. He showed me family pictures of all of us.
I think we need to schedule a doctor's visit. This isn't normal.
He said. But he didn't mean for the 3rd child. He meant for me. I had a hard time even closing my eyes that night, knowing a stranger was sleeping in my house. Worst of all, I keep wondering if my mind was playing tricks with me. How could I possibly forget having a 3rd child? It couldn't be. Dylan was my son, and I must be just having an aneurysm or something. The thought frightened me because nothing about it offered easy solutions. The next day, we sent the boys to school and got that appointment. When we made it to the office, I was nearly convinced that I had just imagined the whole bizarre fog. Then, I overheard a young man in the lobby arguing with two kids he claimed were not his.
I don't know you. I don't care what that doctor says. You're not mine. Get away from me.
He snapped. I stopped him as he was about to go to the door and saw something in his eyes. Was it the fog? I whispered. He knew what I was talking about, and that troubled me even more. The doctor examined me and couldn't find anything physically wrong.
I'm going to prescribe you a few psychiatric medications just to help you remain calm. I'm sure this will all resolve itself in a few days.
The doctor said. I smiled uneasily and promised I would take them. I never did, I will admit. I wanted a clear mind so I could figure out what was happening and which of these children was actually real. But meeting that man confirmed to me that I wasn't alone. Others were experiencing the same as I was. I didn't know how to explain it to my husband, and I was scared he might consider sending me to an asylum if I kept pressing the issue. Maybe I was crazy. Maybe these are my children. When they got home from school, I made them food and sat right across from Dylan. I wanted to try to resume a normal life, as crazy as that sounds. This kid had made no effort to seem a threat. Maybe I was the one affected. Maybe the fog did something to me and not to him.
Thanks for dinner, Mom.
Dylan said as he hugged me after washing his plate. I gave him a half smile and sat there, feeling absolutely awful. I was starting to feel something towards him. Was he even real? How could I be sure he was? That second night of no sleep made me get up and check on the boys, to be sure that nothing out of the ordinary happened. They were all so peaceful. My life felt like a dream, but it was still off. Alarm bells rang in my head, telling me not to just push these feelings aside. I went to the attic to try and find anything connecting to Dylan's childhood. If he is really my son, I knew I would have kept baby stuff up there, but I didn't find anything. Not even a bracelet from the hospital. As I sat there looking at other albums, it occurred to me that every part of him seemingly manifested 4 days ago. Before that, he didn't exist. The next day when Vincent went to work, I checked online in our area to see if anyone else might possibly have a similar experience from the fog. It took a bit of digging, and maybe one too many coffees, but I found something. Buried under a help tab on Facebook group, How to Tell Which of Your Children is Real. There was a video of a mother just like me. Behind her, there were 3 children, all sitting in chairs, strapped down by zip ties. I held my hand over my mouth as she started to speak.
Everyone says I'm crazy, but I can't shake the feeling that one of these children isn't really a real kid. It started with the fog, and it grew larger from there. At first, I was certain. Then it started to infect me more. I blur their faces. They all look the same. Then I realized I wasn't sure which one was the one. I couldn't remember. And I needed to know. If they are my blood, I know they will have blood. And then I told myself it didn't matter. I love them all. But that unease in my stomach didn't disappear.
She took out a switchblade. Then the screen suddenly went black, announcing the video was pulled. It made my heart race. I couldn't do that. I'm not a monster. But what she said bothered me. The fog had infected her mind, made her question reality. What if it was doing that to me, too? What if one of these children is an imposter? Yesterday, I reached at my breaking point. I tried for a full day to push these thoughts aside and treat the 3 of them as mine. Yet, I had no connection to Dylan. No motherly instinct was kicking in. When he hugged me, I just felt dead inside. He is a stranger. A mother knows her children. I told my husband I was going to take them to the park. When they got out and played, I sat there and watched them, trying to psych myself up to doing what I needed to do. I have a few safety pins in the car for clothing emergencies, and I told myself I just needed to prick their finger. That's what the woman was going to do. I was sure of it. The real ones will bleed. The fake ones? I wasn't sure. I waited until they got back in the car and then locked the doors.
Mom, can we go for ice cream?
Braxton asked. I was saying a mental countdown and then pounced, pricking his finger.
Mom? What the hell?
James shouted. I snagged him next. Dylan tried to defend himself, and the sharp point snagged his arm. Blood trickled down and he cried out.
Mom, what are you doing? Why did you do that?
I froze, looking at the other boys. I dropped the safety pin and quickly drove them to the nearest clinic. It was an accident. You were roughhousing and you stuck yourself. It will only be a few stitches. I told Dylan. They promised not to say anything to their father. I've been dumbstruck and horrified by the moment ever since. Their faces were filled with fear. Their own mother attacking them? That isn't the worst part, though, because I have one thing seared in my mind. Braxton wasn't bleeding. If you would like to submit your stories, please check out the Panic Within subreddit. I go over those stories that are submitted, and I go ahead and I narrate them. I say go over, but I narrate all of them. So if you are interested in something like that, go ahead and take a look in the description, and you'll find the link there. We also have a Discord. You can come and hang out and get spooky with me and other narrators. We post new content, up-and-coming videos, promotions, and we also just hang out and chat, and you can come and hang out with us there. If you're interested in that, link is also in the description below. And last but not least, if you are interested in doing a collab with the King of Panic or myself, you can absolutely reach out. If you're another creator, you can do one on our channel, we can do one with you. We are completely open for collab as of right now. Looking for new stuff to do and very excited for anybody who reaches out. The best way to do that is through Twitter or Discord. I do check Instagram and I will get back. It just might take a little longer because I'm super bad at that, but I've been trying to be better. So if you do reach out there, even if it takes a couple days, I'll be there. But like I said, we're excited. So please definitely reach out and we're looking forward to it. And as always, thank you for visiting the Panic Room. You have successfully made it to the next portion of your tour. Please stay tuned for your next prompt. Click the like button and subscribe to receive notifications for when the next portion of your tour is ready to join. Thank you for watching. Don't let the panic drown you.